If you can't do it yet, practice this. Master this golden timing, and your returns will improve drastically. Today, let's talk about serve returns, focusing on short forehand, half-long, and fast deep forehand serves. Why is returning serves so difficult? Because you must deal with placement, timing, spin, and unpredictable variations. Let's start with short balls. There are two types. The first bounces twice and just drops off the table. You only have two ways to return this type of short ball. First is pushing. The deeper the ball, the easier it is to push. Half-long balls are the easiest. For balls with forward momentum like this, you can push deep. But it's very hard to push short, drop shot, against them. Their forward momentum means you must absorb the pace first, making short pushes difficult. The better approach for backspin is a deep push or a sidespin push, allowing you to borrow the incoming power. If you flick, stay close to the ball for a push flick, because the incoming pace is heavy. The second type is the very short ball, which bounces at least 3 times on the table. There are two ways to handle this. First, a short push. Since it's already short, you don't need to absorb pace. Second is an explosive flick. The shorter and closer to the net it is, the easier it is to flick. You can open your wrist to add more quality to your flick. The shorter the ball, the more I open my racket to flick. The longer it is, the more I drive through it. These are the methods for handling over-the-table balls. Next is the half-long ball. This is the most awkward to handle. Should you push or loop? It's common in matches. When players get tense and fail to serve short, it usually goes half-long. There are different returns. I think half-long balls are the easiest to push. So if you aren't in position to loop, just push. See? Half-long balls are easy to push and borrow power from, and you don't need to step in too deeply. You can use its pace for a heavy deep push. Use its forward momentum, add a quick snap, and it will be super spinny. No matter how hard you spin a short ball, a half-long push is always spinnier. If you can't loop, push. Secondly, let's talk about looping. Looping a half-long ball has two timings. One is taking it at the peak of the bounce, looping right over the table. Let me demonstrate. The other is letting it drop and looping the early falling phase just below table level. If you anticipate a half-long serve early, keep your hand above the table to loop the peak. If you're unsure due to the threat of deep serves, wait, read the ball, and loop the falling phase. Whether you push or loop, at any timing, you must step in and position your right foot right at the table's edge. If you step in with your feet parallel, you won't be able to generate or borrow power. This shows why you shouldn't serve half-long. It's slow, easy to push, and lacks heavy spin. Your serves must be distinct. Short is short, deep is fast and jamming. The only viable half-long serve is middle forehand with left side spin. Right side spin curves right into their strike zone. A half-long left side spin topspin will jam the opponent and follow their body. Let me ask you, is a ball like this considered a long ball or a half-long ball? It looks like a standard push, very common in real matches. This is not a fast deep ball, it falls into the half-long category. The reason you often miss loops on this ball is that you stand still, treat it as a long ball, and eat the spin. Unlike a pushed ball, which doesn't kick forward, a fast deep ball lets you borrow power. If you use the same stroke, you'll fail to transfer power. That's why you struggle to loop in pushing rallies. Though it lands deep, it acts like a half-long ball. For half-long balls, you need to step in and loop forward. Look at this stroke, I have to give it forward momentum to get it over the net. Serve returns have the same issue. The third type is the fast long ball. Fast long balls also have two types. The first type is extremely deep and fast, purely relying on speed with little spin. The second type has both spin and speed, though the speed is slightly slower. Why do you often miss returns when they change placement? Because you haven't reset your mind, you're stuck on the previous point. You expect the opponent to serve the exact same placement and spin, giving you a second chance. As a result, 80% of your focus is on the deep backhand. Once they switch to the forehand, you freeze. The second reason is you haven't built the habit of moving the moment the ball crosses the net. The golden rule for timing: read the spin on the first bounce, and start moving the second it crosses the net. While the ball is in the air crossing the net, adjust to the forehand, middle, backhand, or step in based on your read. But amateurs usually react like this: no reaction on the first bounce, freeze as it crosses the net, only move when it bounces on their side. That's why amateurs fear fast long serves. If you start your backswing on the second bounce, you'll get jammed. If you prepare your backswing early, even a heavily spun serve won't affect you, because you aren't getting jammed. You aren't losing to the spin, you're losing to the pace. Your focus must be, get in position and prep your racket before the ball even hits your side of the table. My stroke is prepped before the bounce. The moment it bounces, I swing. That's how you catch the timing. If you can't do it yet, practice this. Master this golden timing, and your returns will improve drastically. Back to fast long serves. Their only goal is to jam you with speed. Don't let them jam you. If it's topspin, treat it like a forehand drive, but without rotating your waist. When they serve fast deep to your forehand, don't turn your waist, just drive it straight forward. Exactly, push it forward. Why take a big backswing? What about side backspin? Just lower your racket slightly from the forehand drive position. Weight transfer, opening the hips, rotating the waist, creating arcs. None of these matter in that split-second return. The incoming serve is already tough enough. Forget fancy technique, just focus on getting the ball on the table. Drop the hand, then snap it forward. If the ball is slightly slower, I'll add a little rotation for more quality. They practice serves for hours just to jam you. Don't give them that chance. Deep forehand or backhand, I don't take a backswing. I just brush it up. Your spin becomes useless against this. So, 3 keys to returning fast long serves. 1. No big backswing. 2. Don't force power. 3. Compact stroke. Remember, no big backswing, don't overhit, compact stroke. Same applies to the backhand. You'll always make the return. No matter the placement or spin, it goes on the table. Memorize these 3 principles, because deep long serves are everywhere in amateur matches. By don't force power, I don't mean no spin. You still need to brush the ball, not just bump it. Amateurs shouldn't overthink. Just getting the ball on the table is enough. These 3 principles are effective against any pips player, and they apply just as well to returning serves and third ball attacks. For amateurs under 1900 rating, consistency is king. Don't chase extreme quality. Just keep it compact, use a small swing, and don't force the power. Play like this, and your opponent will make more errors than you. Especially in the 1800 to 1900 range. What mistakes do players at this level make? Overhitting, massive swings, poor racket control, and low percentage shots. So why not let them make the mistakes? Look at Zhang Yining's style, she deflected heavy power with minimal effort, like Tai Chi. In the pros, the most frustrating thing is losing a match you should have won, simply because you overhit and refuse to listen.